Hey, and welcome back to the off-grid property that Courtney and I have been developing over the last 2 years. We started right here with bare land, and since day one, we've had a problem, which is we've had nowhere to store our stuff. Our first solution was this 55-gallon trash can. Then, over our first winter up here, we actually added this 10 by 20 shed. It's part wood shed, part tool shed, and that was a game changer because we finally had an indoor space to store our stuff. The following summer, we built this off-grid solar system, including this shipping container, which houses all of our solar gear, but the rest of it is storage. And finally, towards the end of last summer, we were able to get the concrete slab poured in our shop. Over the winter, we finished out the interior, and today is the day that we finally get serious about organization in the workshop so that we can not only store stuff in the shop, but also work out of the shop.
I'm not ready to film yet, the shop's too messy.
That's the whole point of today's video.
Riley and I have been working together self-employed for 10 years, and we've always shared some sort of workshop space, and I would say that it's probably the #1 biggest point of contention in our relationship is how clean the shop should be.
I'll admit, I am not the cleanest worker.
And I'll admit that I think I like things a little too clean sometimes.
I think that ideally the goal is to find a balance between an absolute disaster zone
and freakishly clean. Step 1 before we can get our new storage system set up is just to get this one taken down. Let's go.
Over the winter, we got a call from Levrack. They noticed during our snowblower series that our shop needed a serious level up in the organizational game, and they custom designed us the ultimate storage solution for our shop. Come on, baby. All right. Okay, here we go. Attempting to unload this stuff from the trailer, and I hope I don't damage anything because it's very precarious and I'm not very patient. Okay, instructions. Instructions. I don't see any instructions. I think we're just gonna wing it. Hi, Ollie.
What you want?
And what are you wearing? We just dropped some new merch, including this new logo shirt as well as the baby onesies. I'll put a link in the description below.
This is what we're building. This picture's horrible, so I'll put a better picture right here. But I think we're gonna start with this first section here and get the crossbars in, then we'll do this section, and then we'll do all the cabinets. At least that's the plan.
Say hi, Courtney. All right, Courtney's putting the baby to bed, which means that I am now on my own and unsupervised. I need to get the rest of these crossbars in, and I have an idea that I think is gonna make this a lot easier.
That is so much bigger than the old rack that used to be there. How did you get that up there? That took a little bit of problem solving to get it in. I think if we'd had 3 people, it would have been really easy, but we kind of had to use ladders as our third person.
12-foot crossbars are heavy, but that's also good because that's why the thing is so solid.
Now we're gonna keep building up.
All right, last pallet, but it's also the heaviest pallet, weighing in at 1,800 pounds. It's a little precarious on the trailer, and I hope I don't drop it. Well, while Courtney works on putting Oliver to bed, I'm gonna work on assembling a bonus piece that I'm really excited about. This is a 4-foot by 8.5-foot steel work table. 4-foot by 8.5-foot. The reason I'm so excited is because this table means that we're gonna be able to work on huge projects without having to work on the floor. It's gonna be a game changer. Projects look a little different these days with Courtney spending so much of her time taking care of Oliver. That leaves me down here by myself, and I could wait for her, but I'm starting to get a little impatient. So I'm gonna attempt to put this tabletop on this table by myself. This is 10 gauge steel and it's bigger than 4x8, so wish me luck. And now for the hardest part. Today, I'm gonna try to work smarter, not harder, rather than harder, not smarter. Success. Oh, I love it when a plan like that actually works and I'm not just stuck yelling, help! And Courtney's here just in time. We're lifting it up and over. If your hands are like right here, they can't get smashed.
Okay. Oh, it's not that bad.
Wow.
This is where I'm gonna take my naps from now on.
Hey.
It's ginormous.
Yeah, it's a huge
When we
case.
have visitors now, we can just put an air mattress on this, and it's like the guest bedroom.
Oh, guest bed in the shop.
Whoa.
What is that, a skateboard?
Basically, skateboard for our tools.
Okay. How did you know what I was gonna do?
I believe that the rated load capacity of these, once they're installed and ready for stuff, is 800 pounds. I think the baby's awake.
Someone's excited to see me.
Grumpy baby, say hi. Say hi. Oliver discovered his hands this week, and they must be delicious.
Each one of these sliding units comes with shelves as standard, but then there are tons of other accessories that we can add. So next up to this is to add the drawers. I've got 8 drawers. I'm gonna put 4 down low in 2 of the units. I think that I'm gonna use these drawers for storing hardware and small items that I need to be able to get to quickly and I don't wanna have to dig for. Because my current hardware situation looks like this. Basically, it's all just shoved in a drawer that doesn't have dividers and is too small, making it pretty much impossible to keep organized.
Those are the fanciest looking drawers I've ever seen.
All right, with all of the main cabinet structures assembled, it's time to start configuring the inside of them. And I'm gonna start down here at the end with the first one. And this is the one that I'm probably the most excited about. It's gonna house all of my welding stuff. And now to add what I think is the coolest part of this entire system, which is the drawers. With the mounting brackets installed, next up is the drawer carriage. And then the drawer. Full extension, ball bearing drawers, perfect for storing small items that are fully adjustable within the cabinet. All right. Gloves, TIG welding consumables, extra wire, all of that space will now have a home in one place rather than be scattered throughout the shop. All the welding stuff is moved in. What do I do with the rest of the space?
It turns out that building the Levrack was the easy part, and the last few days have been kind of rough.
We have spent the last few days moving just about everything we own, going through every bin, every shed, everything.
It was a rough process, but I am so glad we did it because the results kind of have us both speechless.
I think that for the first time in maybe ever, I actually know what we own and where everything is.
We're gonna give you a full shop tour of how everything turned out in a minute, but first we have a few little finishing touches to do.
Courtney, I really like how you finish this stovepipe by trimming it out like we talked about.
It's my trash chute. So when I'm sweeping up here, I just...
What? You sweep the trash into my shop?
Cannot wait to see how this turns out. I think it's gonna look really good. Have you figured out what I'm making yet? The last step is one that we've been talking about doing for a while, which is displaying all of our Dozer level Patreon members on the shop wall. Thank you guys so much. We could not do any of this without your support. If you'd like to learn more about becoming a Patreon member, I'll put a link in the description below.
Seriously, your support on Patreon, your support on YouTube, that's what allows us to do crazy things like buy that Kubota mini excavator. So thank you so much for the help and the support.
One down, one to go.
Welcome to our shop.
Our mostly finished shop. I cannot believe that we can say that.
After more than 2 years of working towards this dream, it is finally functional.
And I'm so excited to show you guys around and then get started on our first project. So come check it out.
First things first, a giant new toolbox to house all of my mechanics tools. This toolbox replaced, I think, 3 other jam-packed toolboxes. Now this means that every time I need a mechanics tool, I have one place to go and find it, and they're organized. I've got sockets, wrenches, even a charger drawer complete with a power strip so I can keep the batteries charged up for the cordless tools. This is great because I know I'm going to be working on a lot of equipment this summer, and now I know where my tools are. Continuing around, we get from the mechanics area into the fabrication area where we've got our multi-process welder, one welder to do all of the things. Then we've got our small welding table right here next to the welder. Continuing all the way around to our CNC plasma table. This plasma table lets us draw parts in the computer and then quickly and easily cut them out into precise, perfect fit pieces. Which brings us to our new Levrack. Somehow we have more stuff in this shop than we had before, and yet we have tons of empty space. Right here we've got all of our jack stands, jacks, tubing bender, etc. Then over here we have sort of a his and hers situation. The right side is mine, the left side is hers.
Something that's really cool about this Levrack system is that all of the storage is completely hidden, but when we're ready to use it, we designed it into 3 quadrants. The first quadrant is metal fabrication, the second quadrant is woodworking, and the third quadrant is automotive and hardware. So the thinking is when we're working on that type of project, you open that section, and now we don't have to move things around while we're working. Everything we should need is right in here. We can get our welding supplies, our gloves, our lathe, any sort of metalworking tools. Then, if we're working on a woodworking project, we close this quadrant and we open this one. I think this is probably more of what I would call my cabinet than Riley's. It's got all my woodworking tools and my painting supplies. I already used them to actually paint the door, and it was so nice to be able to just walk in here, grab everything I need, and go get to work. And the last cabinet is one that we have never had good storage for, ever. This is our hardware and all of our automotive things. Now, something that's really cool about this Levrack system is the drawers. We get the benefit of having shelving, and we get these super heavy duty drawers that have been great for our hardware. It means that even though this is kind of Riley's stuff, I can walk over here, I can open a drawer, and I can visually see everything and find what I need. I am so happy with how the shop turned out, and it makes me really excited to start working on projects in here again.
The Levrack is a pretty hefty investment, but the amount of square footage in this shop that it takes up compared to the amount of stuff that it functionally stores is huge.
I feel like now we didn't have to decide whether this is a metal shop or a wood shop or an automotive shop. This is going to allow us to do all of those things really functionally.
Which is great because sometimes our projects are all of those things.
So we'd like to give a huge thanks to Levrack for sponsoring us in this video, and we cannot wait to share with you our next project. There's actually a little bit of an Easter egg in this shop that might let you know what we're going to be working on soon.
So with that, guys, thanks so much for watching this video and supporting our channel. If you're looking forward to seeing us work on projects in this shop, make sure to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.